Welcome to the Saturday Morning Block Party Podcast. I'm your host Norbert, and we've got an in-between episode for you today. I know I said the show would be back from its hiatus on February 7th, but there was a disastrous editing problem, and I'm going to have to fix that. So to do that, we're going to push the episode back another week. Sorry about that, but to keep you satisfied, we're going to do this little in-between episode on John Callahan. John Callahan is one of my favorite cartoonists, and I think he's a really inspiring person. Well, he was a really inspiring person. Unfortunately, he died in 2010, but his birthday was just a couple days ago, so it's a good time to talk about him. John Callahan became a quadriplegic after he got into a car accident at 21 years old, and after that accident he took up art, and he would draw with the marker in between both of his hands. That's how he would draw, because he had very limited mobility of his upper limbs, and he was also in a wheelchair. He's inspiring in a lot of ways because, one, he had this horrible tragedy in his life, yet he was still able to really get out there and do art, get shows on major networks. And also, a lot of people who are into art or cartooning or comics think, oh, I could never do that, I can never be successful, I'm not skilled enough, I'm not good enough. But I'm sure a lot of people would agree that his art is not good looking. I certainly don't. Even as a child, I thought that Pelswick did not look good, and Quads looks even worse, but they are very, very well done. They're very well written and put together with good characters. Callahan does a lot of black humor and a lot of stuff on his experience of being disabled, and a lot of stuff on his disdain for political correctness. In Pelswick, the show he had on Nickelodeon, the dad of the titular character Pelswick is this extremely politically correct guy. He's always talking about non-ableist, non-sexist, gender-neutral, yada yada yada. And there's also a lot of stuff in there in Pelswick. There's plots where Pelswick is frustrated because there's people who seem to be offended on his behalf, and that's just really interesting to me. I really like writing like that. He's even said that he really doesn't care about the opinion of anyone who's not in a wheelchair or has hooks for hands or something like that. He also had another TV show called Quads about a man who walks out of a bar and gets hit by a car and ends up in a wheelchair, and after he gets the settlement, he lives with a bunch of other disabled people in this huge mansion. And Quads is very, very adult compared to Pelswick. You can really see John Callahan's inner filthy pervert shine in that show, and it's still really good. I really like the show, even though it's not as pleasing as Pelswick artistically. It's still really well written and really powerful. In addition to his cartoons, he's also written books like Will the Real John Callahan Stand Up, which I love the title to that considering he's in a wheelchair. And he also has a Dutch documentary about him, which I really need to watch. And even though he's no longer with us, I really hope that John Callahan will continue to inspire a lot of artists and cartoonists and people who have become disabled or have any tragedy in their life, because he's really done a lot with his life even after being disabled in an awful accident. So I very much encourage you to check out his work. Pelswick was a show he had on Nickelodeon. It is kid-friendly, and if you want something a little more adult, you can watch Quads. They are available on Amazon Instant Video. I highly suggest you go check those out, and go ahead and check out the documentary and the books he's written too. Those are good too. He's also a really good singer-songwriter. The music you've been listening to was made by him, and I will give you the links to those in the description. Please check those out. They are really good. Thank you for listening. We are the Saturday Morning Block Party Podcast. This is an in-between episode. We will return to full episodes next week. We have coming up a episode on BoJack Horseman. Then after that, we have a Teen Titans retrospective, and then after that, we have our Black History Month episode. So stay tuned. It's going to be some really good episodes. Glad to be back. Thank you for listening. Remember, you can catch up with us on SaturdayMorningBlockParty.com, on iTunes, on Stitcher, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr. All of those links will be in the description. See you next time.